Okay? It's a different pattern. And just be careful. With these guys, you can just generalize. It's like if that one's 100, this one's 200, 300, you can save some time. Just be careful. This does not follow that pattern, right? It's a different pattern. Okay? And then I've got, for your listening pleasure, I've got a little music history, and I've also got a demonstration for you. Okay? So I'm going to make a double reed instrument here. And you can do that with a straw. All you do is you flatten the straw out, and you cut it off, and you basically make a thing like that, yeah? And then you're going to put it in your mouth, and you're going to press it against the roof of your mouth with your tongue and blow really very hard, okay? All right, now, a little bit of music history, okay? This is actually an early example of an early woodwind instrument, and most people don't understand where the word woodwind comes from. The wind is not wind as in like to blow, okay? Wind is like comes from the Old English word wind, which is to cut, okay? So literally these people, to make their instruments play a higher note, actually had these like big sharp knives, like meat cleavers, right? And they would take the instrument and they would cut the instrument, right? Like wind, like a road that winds through the wood is cut through the wood, right? Okay? So these people, to play higher notes, had to cut the instrument. Okay? So I'm going to demonstrate how one might play one of these old instruments here. I'm going to use the scissors because it's a little bit dangerous to be like chopping with, you know, like an axe or something like that. Thank you very much. Woo! It's hard to play those instruments, right? Okay, so what they would do then is they would play, and if you look at the old music, the music only goes up, right? The music would be like dun 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 dun, and then there'd be like a dramatic da, right? Then there's like a few measures of rest, and then they grab another instrument and they'd start all over again. Right? Maybe they could go up. If they ever had to descend, what they had to do is strategically have people with longer instruments, and they go, that person, this person, this person, like a bell choir. Right? Tycho Brahe. I told you this whole thing about like his sword fight, his nose was cut off. No. He was actually a musician, right? And he went just like a jazz trumpet player for that really, really high note. Right? Boom. Right? How about musical terms? Musical terms. You've heard of the word cutoff in music. Right there. Okay. Now, what happened was, and what revolutionized this, right, is obviously that's not how I play this. I'm not like chopping this thing off, right? This is like a reusable instrument, right? And what happened was, and I can just show you this, is that see if we can get a good one. Sometimes it's very hard to. Oh, it's got to be better than that. I don't really know what makes these things play or not play, so I just recut it. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. And so what happened was the guy went to, and he did it a little early, right? He meant to cut the instrument off, and he realized he was like going up too soon. So he sort of pulled back on the knife, but it still hit the instrument, and it only cut a hole in the instrument, right? Like this. Right? Made a little hole in it. And he, in a moment of, or she, we really don't know. Okay? In a moment of quick thinking, covered the hole back up. And they made this remarkable discovery that I'm about to discover here. Okay? Hold on. I'm vicious here. I'm thinking I've never gotten one to work with like 3 holes, but I have the feeling this might be a magical. Today might be the day. Today is that day! Okay, sorry. Are you ready? Yes! There we go, right? They realized that they didn't have to cut all the way off on the instrument, that if they just cut a small hole in it, that the wave would terminate there, and Huh? Right? And people always ask me, it's like, why are some of the holes bigger than the other holes? Right? They're all, you know, they're sort of spaced in sort of a pattern, but why are some bigger, some smaller? And the answer is, I don't know. I don't know why that is. Okay, but I think it has something to do. There's sort of, you know, sort of black magic-y things. And the other thing you need to know is that waves don't actually end right there. They actually stick out of the pipe a little bit. This is called the end effect. Okay, and if later for the speed of sound lab you do the speed of sound in like some instrument, understand that it will stick out of the end of the pipe a little bit. But that's the notion, right? A little more applause. There you go.